Hi, everyone, and welcome to Life Changing Courses. And this is Life Changing Stories, our channel to inspire you and help you understand why it's important for you to go on a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Today, I'm with Paul Mckinley, and Paul is a hypnotherapist, energy healer, meditation practitioner, does training, public speaking. He's worked with Dr. John Demartini. He's really clued up on metaphysics, and there's a great philosophy that there's nothing that is impossible if you have vision, belief, and action. He believes that there is no higher calling than to be of service to humanity and strive to find new ways to make a positive and lasting impact wherever you go. Well, tell us a bit more about that, Paul.
I've always been on a journey to try and see uh, what I can learn and what I can offer to other people. And as a result of that mindset, I've attracted the most amazing people into my space,
Yeah.
which I've been able to learn from. And the more I learn, the more I realize I have to learn, and the less that I actually know. And the journey is never ending. So for me, it's a beautiful position to be in, where I can offer what I've learned to other people to start them on their journey or to assist them where they are, and then seek out more people with more knowledge myself. So for me, it's a never-ending journey that started many years ago, and I've enjoyed every moment.
Tell us, how did you get to this place? What was the life-changing moment where you decided that service and helping people is meant for you?
Well, I grew up in a family where my parents had a calling on their life and they ended up becoming missionaries. So I grew up with examples of people that were being of service to other people. And as a result of them doing that, they were blessed abundantly. When they left South Africa to go and do the work of their heart, they sold everything: curtains, beds, clothes, everything. We walked out with a couple of suitcases and lived on different missionary bases. But as a result of them following that and believing it was the right thing, regardless what people were saying,
Mm-hmm.
they are now one of the few families that are financially independent and not wanting for anything. So the universe has definitely blessed them for following that song of their heart and not listening to the negativity of others. So as a result of that, I follow that example and follow the song of my heart and see where it leads.
Oh, wow. And they were obviously huge inspirations to you. What was it about them that kind of like inspired you to just give back so much?
Um, if I have a look, they've been training guide dogs for the last 35 years.
Mm.
And for someone to selflessly give to the life of a dog for a year and a half, and
Yeah.
then allow that dog to leave their loving environment to be of aid to somebody else is a huge thing that a lot of people wouldn't be able to do. So that's one of the things that they have been doing for many years. But just their life examples. My dad left school when he was 16. That was what was done in those days, and he decided he wanted to start working, so he started working on the coal mines, which were operating in those days in the UK. And from there, he studied all 12 different trades, all three different engineering fields, ended up sitting all the insurance exams and becoming the head of the insurance engineering claims department for Mutual and Federal. But for someone that doesn't even have what we would call a matric or a high school qualification,
Mm.
to still see an opportunity and study further, because that's what he decided he wanted to do. Uh,
I think that's an important lesson is we have to keep on studying to grow. We have to keep on moving, right?
100%. Yeah. And that's exactly why I keep on finding new material and new courses and new people that have got things that I can continually study and apply. Because there's so many people that study, especially in the esoteric circle, and become course junkies, but they don't apply anything.
Yes.
Uh, so I try and seek out whatever is available that is practically applicable. If I can apply it to my life and then look at what the difference is that it manifests so that I can use that as an example to somebody else.
We have a huge emphasis in our courses on the practical application. So we actually give very little knowledge in the form of like too much information, and then more in the form of working through the exercises and doing the tasks and doing the activities, because that's where you actually learn. You know, that's where you actually grow, right?
100%. That's exactly how the ancients used to operate and teach, and it's exactly how we should. A lot of people would prefer just to download a course, have no interpersonal connection, no accountability, and no application of what they're learning.
Yeah.
They've ticked the box, they've done the course,
Got the certificates and
but their life is still the same.
yeah. So how did you actually get to the place where what was your healing story? Where did you get to that place where you empowered yourself?
I had to get to a point where my body was shutting down before I got to a point where I was ready to learn.
Oh, wow.
I
What about?
got involved in the hospitality and casino industry, the gaming industry, very early on, and permanent shift work for more than 12 years, and drinking copious amounts of coffee and ephedrine-based products in order to keep awake at night. Poor diet, no exercise. My body was eventually getting to a point where it was telling me that enough's enough. And I had the beginning stages of leukemia. I had chronic arthritis of the lower spine. I had bipolar, uh, which they call manic depression. There was kidney stones that were developing. So on multiple fronts, the body was telling me, enough's enough, best you listen.
Yes.
And then I got to a point where I sought out people that would be able to give me the knowledge that I could apply to heal myself. I don't believe in pharmaceutical options, and I've gone on a journey for the last 18 years of zero pharmaceutical, zero herbal medicines in order able to heal myself. And presently, I have none of the ailments that I used to have, even though medical science will tell you that none of those things are curable. They're treatable so that you can have a happy existence with those conditions, but medical science teaches you they're incurable, which is not correct. And the body can heal itself. It's the most amazing organism.
It's quite quite miraculous, that story. What methods, what tricks, what techniques did you apply? If you can share basically little insight into it.
I tried the dual approach of dealing with the emotions behind the illness, as well as physical lifestyle and food intake. So I found somebody by the name of Alexandra, a very special lady. She's passed on now, but she
Mhm.
received a gift of divining when she was in the Great Pyramid as a tour guide many years ago. And with this gift, she was able to pick up off the energy that a person's body gives off and tell them exactly what the body needed to consume to heal itself.
Mm.
And she used this gift predominantly with people with terminal ailments and cancers to allow them to eat themselves to better health. Because the father of modern day medicine, Hippocrates, he had a
Mm.
saying, let food be thy healer. But
Correct.
most people are not eating the right foods, and those that are, the foods are not of the right quality as they were, that the person is still not getting the benefit or the healing.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose the approach of dealing with the mind as well.
Yeah. What's the
And that was
yeah, what's that mindset that one needs to overcome challenges and to fight disease and
well, the most useful book that I found in a secondhand bookshop many years ago, and it's still on sale. It's by Louise L. Hay.
yes.
It's nicknamed the Little Blue Book. It's called Heal Your Body, Heal Your Mind.
Yes.
And in there, she has a uh, alphabetical list of all the physical ailments that you can be suffering from,
Yes.
what the possible emotional cause or blockage behind that is, and a positive affirmation to do as many times every day to release and deal with that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And just by understanding the emotions behind and also using the techniques by Dr. John Demartini that I learned in the breakthrough method, to be able to collapse those emotions and let go of uh, the baggage, the
Yeah.
body then heals itself, because the dis-ease of the mind is what causes the dis-ease of the body.
Yes.
And the body is just a resonator. It's just telling you what you're carrying with you that you no longer need to carry with you. And if you deal with it, those diseases, those ailments seem to dissipate.
Mm, yeah.
And
And
I
do you,
also learned a wonderful technique on one of the metaphysics courses I went on of how to charge my food and my liquid intake with the right resonance and the right intent,
yes.
and tell that what my body needs. And it resonated with those thoughts and those intents before consuming it.
Mm,
And that's originally what prayer was.
yeah.
At the prayer was charging the food and the liquid with the positive intents before consuming it. It wasn't to do with a religious practice or belief. It was purely energetic.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have lost that.
Yes, of course. And you see these changes happening in the people that come to your courses and the people that you work with.
100%. Because even if the person is just in my daily interactions and not attending a course, I still have that moment in time to share with them and plant a seed, or get them to laugh, or get them to start asking questions or looking at things differently. And that's all I feel responsible in doing, is getting people to possibly ask questions or look at things differently, but not to give the answers.
Yes.
The ancient teachers used to always teach rather by asking a question than by telling people and dictating to people exactly what it is. And
Yeah.
you allow people then to go on their own journey and their own direction. And that has far more impact than dictating a path that someone should take,
Yeah.
because then they're accountable.
Yeah. Yeah. You only offer the service, you offer the information, whatever it is. But like you said so beautifully earlier, is you've got to follow the song of your own heart at the end of the
Yes.
and people.
And
Yeah.
one of the short courses that we do is helping people to find that.
Yeah.
So there's a way of being able to get a person to go through a process within a few hours where they come to the realization of what their highest values actually are, not
Yeah.
what they theorize the values are, that it might be their religious beliefs or it might be their family, or but to get to the point of what actually is the song of their heart. What is that one thing they can do every morning from when they wake up to every night when they go to bed? Do it every day, 7 days a week, never get tired and never get bored.
Yeah.
And when someone finds that, life becomes a dance, because every day is a beautiful adventure.
And
Uh,
yeah, it's about finding that authentic song of yours and not following your parents, not following society, not following your partner, anyone else's, but your own song, which is
yes.
really powerful. Sounds
And
great.
once someone's found that song of their heart, the next part of the adventure is to find out how to get paid handsomely for doing it.
Aha,
Because
yes.
just because you're being of service doesn't mean you have to be poor.
Yes, of course. Yes, you should be more rich. Yes, I agree on that. Excellent. So, these courses, when do you run them? How do people contact you?
I've run the courses predominantly in person with people in South Africa, because that's where I live. But we have had participants from America that I will schedule based on their time zone,
Yeah.
and we can do it via Zoom and have split screens. because it's a modular program, and we run them once a week. And the reason why it's only once a week for a few hours is people are busy. To find time to sit for a solid week and take time off work, people can't. So we schedule it for when people are either in the evenings or on the weekends when they've got time, and it allows them a week to assimilate what they've learned and to then apply. If the task is a task where they just need to observe certain aspects or certain behaviors or certain triggers, then they've got a week to start observing that, recording it, come back, and then share in the group what it is that they observed, and by observing it, what manifested or changed.
Nice. I like that a lot. Yes. Yeah, so we'll have all your details in the description below and how people can contact you. It's been so great chatting with you, and I love your story, and I can feel your passion. What will pearls of wisdom would you like to share with our viewers?
Well, there's a parable that I can share with you.
Go for it.
And for me, that is the best way of teaching is with a story, because a person will remember a story,
Yeah,
and then that will trigger the lesson.
go for it.
The story is regarding a very well qualified gentleman who just finished university. And he was one of these top people that wanted to tick all the boxes. He wanted to show that he'd studied with the gurus in India, he'd studied with the masters in Tibet, he'd studied with this doctor and that philosopher, but there was one master that he hadn't studied with, and it was on his bucket list,
Yeah,
just so that he could show everybody that he'd studied with the best of the best. So he sought this master out, and after finding out which little village in Tibet this master stayed in, he managed to get a guide. The guide took him up the mountain. It was snowing, it was windy. He slogged his way up the mountainside and eventually got up onto the plateau where he saw a little wooden shack. And he could see smoke coming out the chimney. And he went up to the wooden shack and he knocked on the door. And the master opened the door. He says, "Good day. I've been expecting you. Come in." So he comes in and he's cold. So the master says, "Sit by the fire. Would you like some tea?" So he says, "Yeah, please." So the master goes and gets the teapot and brings everything and starts making the tea in front of him. And master says, "So tell me about yourself," which was all that this person full of pride and ego needed to just talk about himself, his favorite topic. And he
yeah,
started listing about all the things that he'd studied and all the qualifications he had, and just patting him on the back, as most people do, because they need self-validation, which they will then try and echo from other people back to themselves. And the master said nothing. He just smiled and made the tea. And eventually the master started to pour the tea into the teacup. And the tea filled up and filled up and eventually overflowed from the teacup. By then, the student had stopped and said, Master, you're filling the cup, but it's overflowing."
yes,
And the master says, "Yes, you are like this cup. You are so full that you have nothing that I can teach you." Um, so the moral is that unless people are willing to empty the cup of what they think they know, they're unteachable.
yes, 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 yes.
So on a regular basis, I need to examine what I've learned and what I've been exposed to, and just empty the cup and make space for myself to be able to learn new things and new techniques, and maybe things of greater value that I can then offer to other people and apply in my own life. So the greatest piece of advice I can give to people is on a regular basis to empty the cup and not think that they know it all and they've done it all. Uh, we only know a fraction of what we've been exposed to, but we don't know what we don't know.
Yes.
And if we close ourselves off from the possibility of knowing more, that's exactly what will manifest.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I don't know if it's the same for you, but personally for me, the more I want to learn more, the more I get to see that, gee whiz, it's endless. There's just so much that we can learn and grow from and experience. And the minute we think we know it all, is we shut all of that off.
100%.
And so you have to keep it open and keep it flowing, continuous growth, continuous improvement.
And the most beautiful thing that I've observed in my own life, and I'm sure it will be for other people as well, is that when I get to a point where I'm looking for an answer, or I'm looking for a teacher, or I'm looking for new things to learn, those teachers or those people of wisdom will always appear.
Yeah. Nice.
And I've had the privilege of being able to study with the most amazing people that I've met to date. Traditional healers, one of the most beautiful druids, modern day druids, with Rosicrucians, with the Freemasons, with modern metaphysicians, with so many just people that I would never have met if I hadn't have made myself open and willing to seek these people out and to see what it is that I can learn from them.
Yeah. So just have an open heart, follow the song of your own heart, and find your path in life.
100%. And that's why when I'm ending an email, most of the time, instead of going fraternal regards or the general way of finishing off, I use 3 words: love, light, and laughter.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
And that's the 3 principles that I try and live by on a daily basis.
Yes. Okay, great. Well, it's been inspirational talking with you. It's been a great insight, and we're looking forward to some courses that you offer. And for everyone else, check out our courses and coming up events on our website, lifechangingcourses.co.za. And join us again next time for another life-changing story. Thank you, Paul, for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.